Palma. Oh,
man.
that's unfair, man. Palma, 7 points in the game.
To Del Fuentes.
Oh, wow.
Delgado takes the shot and knocks it down. Maloya is open. 3-pointer.
Oh, my goodness.
Face a jumper by Robin Celis. Caballero has time. Now it's Martin Rosso. Turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness.
Tuloy-tuloy po ang mga laban sa liga ng bawat Pilipino, the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. And we've been here multiple times throughout our journey dito sa ating liga, the San Andres Sports Complex in the city of Manila. It's the second game of our Monday triple header. TH Tumalip churned out his best performance the last time out, and they will need more of those moving forward as they take on Lervin Flores, who provided the spark and the muscle in their latest win over Pasay. It's Davao Occidental taking on Pangasinan dito sa ating second game. Magandang gabi mga kaliga. Ken Pangilinan with Javi Palanya. And Javi, Davao, they're in a bit of a peculiar situation right now, and things will not get easier going up against Pangasinan.
Well, they're experiencing a coaching change. Coach Clive Castillo has taken over in that last game against Muntinlupa. He'll be having his second game tonight against Pangasinan. And also, they've been experiencing the loss of some key players. So, the transition is something that they have to go through as a process. But hopefully, because mahaba ang season, they will have some time to hopefully bounce back and gain some traction going into the latter part of the season.
And they will take on the Pangasinan Heatwaves, who are riding on the momentum of that bounce back win. And you're watching us live, of course, on the official Facebook page and YouTube channel. And Javi, bagong ko i-introduce yung ating third member for panel. Alam mo, may birthday si Richard, si Joy, and itong kasama din natin, lahat magtatapos na yung month ng May, pero parang di pa namin nararamdaman. Of course, we have the May celebrant, Miss Mika Abisa. Miss Mika, kamusta?
Maraming salamat. Ken, madali akong kausap. Huwag kang mag-alala mamaya pagkatapos ng game. But you know what? Before anything else, I just want to reiterate, napakalapit lang nitong venue natin. Nandito tayo sa San Andres Complex. Sana ay magpunta na ang ating mga kaliga at para makita nila ang MPBL dito lang sa malapit. But for these two teams, para dito sa Davao, meron nga tayong bagong interim coach na si Coach Clive Castillo. He's very excited to go against this strong contender in Pangasinan. Actually, he wants to bring in his knowledge galing sa isang napakalaking liga sa London, working alongside lang naman one of the coaches of the San Antonio Spurs. Pero kung gusto nyo ng marami pang kwento tungkol dyan, sasabihin ko yan sa inyo maya-maya lamang. Para naman dito kay Coach Gerson Cabiltes, he asked the boys to let it out, na ilabas na lahat ng energy nila in their next 3 games against Davao, Muntinlupa, and Marikina to prepare themselves lang naman daw at para makagain ng confidence sa San Juan lang naman at Abra pag nakaharap nila yung dalawang teams na yan sa June. Pero tinanong ko siya, sabi ko, Coach, hinihingan mo ng confidence yung boys. Ikaw naman, gaano ka pa ka-confident going against stronger contenders with what happened in the past? Sabi niya, Mika, you'll see. Ken and Javi.
Always na confident, Coach Gerson Cabiltes. And of course, Coach Clive, very interesting, no? Yung stories niya, and we'll hear more on that later on. But we'll first talk about his team right now, itong Davao Occidental. And they're in the midst of a 3-game losing skid. And in this last game against Muntinlupa, they actually had a good second half here, Javi, despite a poor start, but they were just undermanned here, and the firepower of Muntinlupa was just too much.
Yeah, they trailed early on, 11-28 and 31-45 at the half, but they were able to trim that gap, 59-66 after 3 quarters. But Muntinlupa was just able to hold strong in the end game, of course, because of their deeper bench, dahil nga sa lack of manpower na meron itong Davao Occidental Tigers. But despite the lack of manpower, they were able to put up decent numbers in this game, although syempre mas maganda lang talaga ang nagawa ng Muntinlupa. 29 out of 80 from the field. They have to have more efficient offense tonight against Pangasinan, a highly defensive unit on the floor para kay Coach Gerson Cabiltes. So let's see, maybe some players can step up para kay Coach Clive Castillo sa laro na to.
And they will take on one of the top contenders in the north, itong Pangasinan Heatwaves. And they themselves were on the midst of a 3-game losing slide. And those heartbreaking losses really piled up. Pero yung 4th game nila, kalaban nila Pasay, this was the breakthrough win that they needed to jumpstart another winning streak.
Just like itong Davao Occidental in their last game, they had a slow start to this game against Pasay. The Voyagers have been looking good this season, and almost each time that they've started well, it has ended up in a victory para sa kanila. But Pangasinan responded in the second half in true Coach Jerson Cabilte's fashion. Third quarter was big para sa kanila. They outscored Pasay 26-17 and 27-15 in the third and fourth quarter. 47.3% from the field. Out-rebounded Pasay by 7. He's going to rely on his bigs again today, led by Lervin Flores. Hopefully, he can also use that momentum from the last game coming into this game, of course, to set up for their future matches against powerhouses like San Juan and Abra.
All right, it's Davao Occidental versus Pangasinan in our second game. Let's go to Richard Campos.
Sit back and enjoy the evening. Welcome to the second game. Davao Occidental versus Pangasinan at the San Andres Sports Complex. Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 7. Let's make way for the starting lineups. Introducing the Season 3 champions, Davao Occidental Tigers, Coco Life. Playing center number 22, Sam Peralta. At guard number 26, Tricky Pero Mingan. Forward number 23, TH Tumalip. Power forward number 3, Gian Abrigo. And at point guard number 7, deploying assistant coach Val Chauca. Davao Occidental is led by Clive Castillo. Starters for Pangasinan, Heatwaves. Point guard number 11, Joshua Fontanilla. Also at guard number 13, Mac Talio. Forward number 17, the Samurai, Japs Bautista. Also at forward number 27, Jore Napoles. Playing center number 28, the Komodo Dragon, Michael Mabulak. Their head coach is Jerson Cabiltes. His assistants are Noy Catalan, Jun Marzan, Florian Pineda, Ariel Sison, Harold Nang, Joseph Guion, Dan Sabier, and June Medina. Referees for this ball game are
Starting 5 brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory, feel more game with 1xBet. Davao Occidental with Val Chauca, Tricky Perumingan, Sam Peralta, Gian Abrigo, and TH Tumalip. Pangasinan with Joshua Fontanilla, Mac Talio up front, Michael Mabulak, Jory Napoles, and Japs Bautista. And Pangasinan playing without Heset Gabo today, but nandyan pa rin si Joshua Fontanilla at the point. Mac Talio had that lengthy layoff but has come on para dito sa Pangasinan, while for Davao, Javi, obviously second game naman under their new head coach, Coach Clive Castillo.
Yeah, in that first game against Muntinlupa, he only got to practice with Davao for a day. So that's not really enough time for him to make a significant change. So let's see how multiple days of practice has turned out para dito sa Davao Occidental Tigers under Coach Clive Castillo. Well, we're seeing a positive outlook here today on that first possession. Chauca making that play happen, going into the inside and setting up Sam Peralta on that left side.
Michael Mabulak, Vic Manuel coming off the bench. Fontanilla tries a three, left it short. Japs Bautista swoops in. Now he fires. That one too sharp. Rebound, TH Tumalip. Tumalip fires and scores from beyond the arc.
These Tigers, their body language looking very positive here to start this game. Obviously, they know what they're up against, but they also know what they're capable of.
Mac Talio. Wala pa din. Abrigo gets the rebound for the Tigers. Season 3 champions, Davao Occidental. Inside, Gian Abrigo. Foul called on Michael Mabulak.
I'm sure he's frustrated with what happened there. Thought he should have gone for the shot.
This is of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
That's a two-man game that just happened, but not really your traditional pick and roll. That was a Gortat screen set by Sam Peralta, which means that he sealed his defender for Chauca to have a way going to that right side, and he got the pass on the left.
Tumalip gets blocked by Bautista but gets it back. Can't convert though. Mabulak sends it to Mactalio. Talio inside. Jose foul against Val Chauca.
They're calling it really tight here early on. Our referees setting the tone for the rest of this game. So these two squads might want to keep it in check to avoid some foul trouble, especially for Davao, who was only playing with 10 players.
Japs Bautista. The left side. Oh, turnover again.
Now, if you're Davao, you'd love to have Japs Bautista on that left wing or on the opposite wing. You want to trap him on that sideline. He's not really a good passer, so you want to force him in those kinds of situations.
Aprigo at the elbow. Chauca, the quick trigger. High arcing shot is good.
They're 3 for 3 to start this game.
Yeah, 8-0. 2 threes from Davao Occidental. 2 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Japs Bautista, top of the keel. Guarded by TH. Talio with Peromingan in front of him, forcing it up. No good. Tumalip the rebound. TH to his fellow lefty, Val Chauca. Can't get it to go. Oh, but that pass too strong for Mactalio to handle. Slow start for the Heatwaves. This was Val Chauca. No hesitation on that three. Now he's guarded by Joshua Fontanilla. Chauca. Peralta offering that screen. Balandre. Draws a foul on Mactalio.
Usually he'd let PH Tumalip or another guard do the playmaking, but you see early on here in this game that Val Chauca has been the one initiating the offense for the Tigers.
Lalo wala Joseph Terzo, Raymart Escobido. Abrigo, 8 seconds on their shot clock. Tumalip, right wing free, way off. Fight for the rebound. Abrigo wins that one out over Mabulak. Peromingan, laban kay Mactalio. Nakasundot si Talio sa likod. Turnover by the Tigers. Chore, his first touch. Now he takes that three. No good. Tumalip, another rebound. Forward pass. Peromingan. No. Sorry, miss by Tricky. Bautista. Short. Another rebound by Davao Occidental. This is the start that they want.
And you see that this is the pace that they want to play with. Every opportunity they get, whether it's a make or a miss, they're looking to push that basketball.
6:20 left here. Val Chauca. Bounce pass to Tumalip. Swing pass papunta ay Tricky Peromingan. Off the heel. Peralta gets the offensive board. Chauca behind the back. Abrigo, mid-range jumper. Wala pa din. Pangasinan, pagkakataon na makapuntos dito. Sa poste, Mabulak. Laban kay Peralta. And Mike Mabulak will head to the line for 2 shots.
It's been almost 5 minutes into this game, and Pangasinan is 0 out of 6 from the field. They've taken some ill-advised shots. Some maybe rushed also. But Michael Mabulak now trying to make sure that they get at least a point on the board with these 2 free throws.
Mike Mabulak has really struggled from the free throw line.
And you remember during his time with Nueva Ecija, that championship run that they had, he was pretty automatic from the charity stripe. He had a lot of his points coming from the free throw line.
Yeah, he gets fouled a lot actually. 8-1 after that make. So finally, Pangasinan on the board. Tumalip to Abrigo. Thought about it. A lot of 3x3 stars here. Tumalip, Jory Napoles, Gian Abrigo. And now it's Mabulak inside for the deuce.
That's something that I think Pangasinan can really explore more in this game because Davao doesn't really have the manpower and the personnel right now to match up one-on-one with the bigs of Pangasinan, particularly Michael Mabulak in the shaded area.
Tumalip. 4 seconds left. Crossover. DH. Oh, able to escape. But can't convert. Peralta there for the cleanup. Just to be the shot lock.
You gotta be ready to box someone out. If you're Pangasinan, you can't let that happen. And that's why in the next dead ball, Coach Jerson Cabiltes has 5 guys coming in for this unit.
Platoon swap coming up for the Heatwaves. Talio drives right. Kick out. Bautista coming up empty.
Bautista's been misfiring on all of his threes here.
Oh, great pass. Tumalip can't convert though. Numbers now for the Heatwaves. Napoles. Laban kay Abrigo. Bounce pass to Fontanilla. More numbers for Davao, but Mac Talio elects to put up a shot. No good. Ooh, that pass wasn't able to land to Tricky Perumingan's hands. Bola babalik sa panig ng Pangasinan as we check out this play of the game. Hatid sa atin yan ng 1xBet, title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
When you get in that deep, there's really nothing much you can do against Michael Mabulak.
Gong Flores, Ian Melencio, Harvey Pagsanhan, Ralph Robin, and Vic Manuel, the 5 on the floor now for Coach Gerson. Robin loves that spot. Off to the left. Alano the rebound. Tumalip. Laban kay Harvey Pagsanhan. TH. Whips a pass. Abrigo loves those corner shots but can't hit it. Ian Melencio. Change of pace. Goes up strong. And draws a foul on Tagala.
When you're a guard, you gotta be smart enough to play and recognize those angles. When you get that step, he realized that Tagala was behind him at naunahan niya na just by a step, and he used that against Tagala, leaning on his body to force the contact.
LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL. Ian Melencio missing on the first free throw. All net on the second one for Ian. 10-4, Davao still with the lead, up by 6. Jeff Comia facing a double team. Alan Beltran kakapasok lang for the Tigers. Josh Tagala. Comia baseline drive. Alano gets rejected by Gong Flores. Alano persistent, and that leads to a basket by Jeff Comia.
You love the effort being shown by the Tigers here in the opening quarter. They're really trying to crash the glass, and the energy that they show in pushing the pace has worked for them. But Vic Manuel, you leave him wide open now from the outside. He's gonna be a threat.
Vic Manuel shooting 36% from beyond the arc. Knocks down a triple to cut the lead down to 5, 12-7. Jeff Comia, pocket pass inside. Alano gets fouled.
Yeah, that 36%, I'm not really sure about his numbers in the PBA when it comes to shooting from the outside. But I think this season in his career just might be the most three-point shot he's taken all his basketball career.
13-7 after that Alano make. Yeah, Vic Manuel really picks his spots.
Oh yeah, he always does. That's been his game, you know. He doesn't really force a lot of situations. Most of the time, it's always so calculated And that's why he's so fun to watch.
Now here is at the block working on Justin Alano. And he draws a foul.
Just a smart player who uses his IQ and his court smarts to draw those kinds of fouls.
Gong Flores, pupukol around 20 feet. Knocks that one down.
Obviously building on that confidence that he had in that game against Pasay. You don't usually see him taking those kinds of shots.
Jeff Comia can't finish. Foul called on Davao. Si Alan ulit. That's his second foul. Now Davao is in penalty.
They can't afford to have their big men in foul trouble. With the amount of big men that Pangasinan has, Davao could be in danger of losing their bigs early in this game. That just might let Pangasinan blow out this match wide open.
And Gong Flores had a breakout performance against Pasay, but people forget that he was also a legit scorer when he was with the Arellano Chiefs. Walking double-double yan nun eh. In the NCAA.
He's a mix of height and athleticism at the 4 spot. Tsaka yung lakas ng katawan, ang tibay.
Nabansag ang Machete yan. Si Machete at si Damasilman. Oh, what a block there! That was Alan Beltran.
Defense just right on time there. So Davao not only showing that they are improved offensively, but defensively they're also communicating better and they're making sure that they get in front of a man who's going for the basket. But here, na uha lang sa fake, ito si Jeff Comia. But because they are already the penalty, Robin is on the free throw line.
That basket did not count, so 2 free throws. The first one is a miss for Ralph Robin. Gerson shaking his head, does not like what he's seeing at the moment.
Especially from the free throw line. Pangasinan this season is not really a good free throw shooting team. In their last game against Pasay, they only shot 57.7%. As a team, you want your squad to be shooting at least 75 to 80%.
And that's very important that you've mentioned that, Javi, as Jeff Comia knocks down an outside jumper, because they are number 1 naman in terms of free throw makes and attempts. So they get fouled a lot, they get to the free throw line a ton. But like you said, that percentage has been paltry to say the least. As Vic Manuel can't hit from beyond the arc this time. Ian Melencio lalapit, foul na naman laban sa Davao.
Yeah, in terms of volume, you like it that they're really taking and getting to the line a lot. But a lot of their games, those misses that they've had from the free throw line actually kind of decided their fate.
This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Ian Melencio. Pasok. Then yung pangalawa. 16-11. 5 points the lead by the Tigers. Alan Beltran gives it up to Josh Tagala. Tagala inside. Nilabas. Comia. Tres. Wala. Gawan ng bola. Mapupunta kay Gong Flores. Bounce pass to Harvey Pagsanhan. Harvey all the way. Comia quickly on the other side. The cut by Beltran, but the steal by Flores. Vic Manuel with a running start. The muscle man, the layup, no good. That was Flores. Put back, wala pa din. Pivots the other way, and Gong Flores will shoot 2 free throws. Fast break of the game. Atid sa atin yan ng Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme magpalamig. Free installation for split type air conditioners.
This was the play just right before this one. And Vic Manuel could have actually dropped it off to Harvey Pagsanan, who was already running ahead of him on that left side, but took it to himself. Good thing that Flores was there. I think that the reason why he was so confident about taking it, even if it had a big chance of missing because of the defense in front of him, was because that Flores was there, and Flores has been a very impressive offensive rebounder.
Melensio's jumper off the mark. He tried to beat the buzzer. First quarter comes to an end. And a strong start by the Davao Occidental Tigers. But Pangasinan has drawn closer here. Some of the highlights here in quarter number 1.
It was a strong start for Davao, especially on the defensive end as well. They've showed a lot of improvement. Offensively, they've been pushing the pace. Defensively, they've forced Pangasinan into a drought early, almost more than 5 minutes of scoreless possessions para sa Heatwaves.
Davao with a 3-point lead over Pangasinan, 16-13. Special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Meanwhile, let's check in with Miss Mika.
Who is Coach Clive Castillo? Born and raised in London, Tubong Bacoor, Cavite, where his parents are from, would come home and play ball in that area growing up. Played ball in London as a combo guard and eventually had the opportunity to be the head coach of Westminster University for 10 years. Coached some good Filipinos there, he said. He was also an assistant coach to Coach Peta Bocic. Ang tagal mag-reply ni Noel Zarate, so hindi ko alam kung tama yan. One of the assistant coaches of the San Antonio Spurs. They won as champions with the London Lions in the Super League of London. He and Val Chauca were connected by the SNC of Val, so here he is experiencing the pros in the Philippines. His take so far, the characters of people here are to be admired. One of the most hardworking people of the world. And so far, look at this first quarter for them. Ken and Javi.
Maraming salamat, Mika. Siya pala yun. Kailan mo ba, Javi?
That's quite the resume, though, that Coach Clive Castillo has had in his young coaching career. You know, the opportunity to coach internationally and also in a place where basketball isn't really known for, but to have that kind of exposure still and to coach with well-renowned international coaching experience.
Yeah, 10 years. Imagine having been under the tutelage of one of the coaches of San Antonio. You know, that's gonna rub off the right way for Coach Clive. And he's trying to bring that here sa Davao. And so far nga, like Mika said, maganda yung pinapakita ng Davao. They've been playing with a different kind of energy today, Javi.
Yeah, and you can see that they're really responding to what Coach Clive wants to happen on the floor.
3-point lead. 16-13. Ian Melencio. Mid-range jumper, automatic. Val Chauca returns. He's joined by TH Tumalip, Sam Peralta, Gian Abrigo, and Jeff Comia. Foul called on Pangasinan. This was Ian Melencio. Just taking it right to Davao with that shot.
Chauca went under the screen momentarily, but he still had time to catch up, although it was too late.
Val Chauca gets a slight opening but can't hit it. Ball will stay with Davao Occidental. Baseline inbound. Val Chauca from the right corner. Lalapit. Jeff Comia, short stab. Can't get a bounce. Vic Manuel gets the rebound but lost it. Too much dribbling leads to Peralta almost converting it. Jeff Comia One-hander is good.
A lot of pushing, a lot of shoving, especially underneath. But Comia finishing through traffic.
18-15. Amidst the chaos, Davao is still ahead by 3 points. Melencio drives left, lays it up with his right hand. TH Tumalip off the make. He runs down the floor and scores.
You see the urgency that Davao is playing with. Again, whether it's a make or a miss, they're looking to push. So Pangasinan needs to have somebody back as soon as possible after every possession.
Davao on the attack after that bad pass. Comia, follow-up, no. Fight for the rebound, Abrigo and Flores. 2 3x3 stars wrestling for the basketball. Ball will stay though with Davao Occidental. As we now have this play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
When you play Ian Melencio, you've got to stay in front of him. You force him baseline, he's going to use that angle and try to get a scoop layup or maybe a short stab. That's the second time he's done that in this game.
Chauca facing up against Ian Melencio and draws a foul. Val Chauca will be at the line. Second foul on Ian Melencio.
As you can see, Chauca's locked in this game against Pangasinan. He's trying to look for his shot. He's trying to set up the offense to try and keep TH Tumalip off the ball. They're really gonna miss Joseph Terzo in this game though.
Val Chauca knew it was a miss as soon as it left his hand. That's why he got the rebound and scores a 4-point play the unconventional way for Val Chauca.
A gutsy attempt right there off the miss. Quick to the basketball. Pangasinan can't allow that. And you know, pinakamasakit, you let them have the offensive rebound and you allow a 3-point shot as well.
Meanwhile, Mike De Gregorio, 0 out of 14 from 3-point distance. He has yet to make a 3-pointer this season. And we check out this 3-point. Actually, we're staying on the air here as TH Tumalip will trigger it in from the baseline. Jory Napoles comes in for Pangasinan. It's hard to believe that Mike De Gregorio has yet to make a 3 so far.
Yeah, they've already played 10 games this season. De Gregorio has been mainly known for his outside shooting. That's how he gets his points.
Pagsanhan. Bagsak tatlong manlalaro. Chauca, Pagsanhan, and TH Tumalip. And now we check out this 3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
Getting his own miss there and then trooping on over to the corner. Oh, what a brave, confident, gutsy play by Val Chauca.
And Davao Occidental increases their lead to 7, 24-17.
Galing kami sa 3 talo eh. Tapos yung Pasay, hindi naman ganun kahinang team. Sobrang ang ganda rin sistema nila, malakas na team yung Pasay. So down pa kami ng half. So yun, remind lang naman kami ni Coach na kailangan maglaro kami as a team. Magtulong-tulong kami, especially sa rebounding. Lagi kaming talo. Yung game namin sa Pasay, nanalo kami sa rebounding. Kaya siguro kami nanalo sa game.
Vic Manuel mentioning the importance of rebounding in that last game against the Pasay Voyagers, and having they averted disaster by coming up with that big win in Palayan City, because And they would have been now 5-5 heading into this matchup against Davao had they not won that game. And ang mabigat pa dyan, Javi, sunod-sunod kasi yung mga kalabay lang malalakas. And they almost came up empty during that 4-game stretch.
Yun na nga, Ken. And you know that there are a lot of strong teams in the Northern Division. So, as much as possible, you gotta try your best to maintain your position and in the upper half of the team standings. Currently, Pangasinan right now in the Northern Division is still good to have an automatic playoff spot. They're number 7 right now. But they don't want to fall into those 8, 9, and 10 spots dahil yun ang magiging teams na papasok sa ating play-in tournament, and they don't want to have to go through the ringer because that's gonna make it more tiring for them if they want to have a deep run in the postseason. Pero syempre matagal pa naman yun, and they are in a good position to improve their team standing, but there are a lot of good teams in their way right now, so they're gonna have to try and figure out how to make this strong roster of them work for the better.
Gian Abrigo does not get the friendly bounce. Mabulak the rebound. Numbers here for Pangasinan. Valchauca still lagging behind. De Gregorio, the pass back to Mike. Mabulak, offensive rebound. Using his left hand, no good. Forward pass Perumingan to Chauca. Back to Tricky. Behind the back. Oh, what a pass to Sam Peralta for the deuce.
That is just unacceptable if I'm Coach Jersot Cabiltes. That thing that Pangasinan allowed to happen. Essentially, they were playing 4-on-5 that previous offensive possession. Mabulak and Jory Napoles were not able to take advantage of that mismatch in terms of numbers. And then they allow Davao a 3-on-2 break.
De Gregorio still empty from 3-point distance. Fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X Pop. Personal karaoke speaker, everyday karaoke.
Practically a give and go. Tricky Perumingan gives it up to Valchauca, then gets it back, and then another pass, a spectacular one behind the back to Sam Peralta, who has left his imprints on this game early on. The energy that he's been giving has been impressive.
Chauca airballs that free. De Gregorio this time slides. Draws closer, wala. Mabulak, another offensive rebound, but this time the putback is good.
Yeah, Mabulak's not gonna try and out-jump you most of the time, but he's gonna use his hands, try to tap that ball to himself to generate offensive rebounds for his team. That's exactly what he did in that last play.
Good screen by Chauca, provided to Abrigo. Gian Abrigo can't hit it still.
He's had trouble hitting those jumpers from short range tonight.
The ball is trying to post up. Cortiza did not see Talio. Now Mac Talio gets it back from Mabulak. Kick out pass, nothing really happening in this offensive set by Pangasinan. Shot clock winding down, 3 seconds remaining. Cortiza can't bail them out. But the offensive rebounds keeping Pangasinan in it. De Gregorio gets it. Napoles kick out. Talio open free. No good. And finally, Perumingan tracks it down for Davao. Forward pass again to Sam Peralta. Has a size advantage. Kicks it back out to Tagala. And they reset their offense. Peralta, baseline jumper. Way short. Under 3 minutes remaining. Davao protecting this 3-point advantage. Talio. They weave up top. Cortiza, Mabulak. The illegal pick. Offensive foul on Mike.
Moving his shoulder. Obviously, he thought otherwise. Ito si Mike Mabulak.
Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
The side step right there that attracted 2 defenders, which left, was that Mabulak for the shot? Or was it Napoles?
Here's TH Tumalip. Flare screen provided by Beltran. Tagala trying to shake off Cortiza. Now it's in the hands of Tumalip. 4-3, no good. Beltran snags the rebound. Goes to Tricky Peromingan, asking for a clear out. They go to the left side. Jeff Comia, laban kay Mac Mactalio. Comia, jumper, gets the friendly bounce. 28-23. Jeff Comia with 9. With 8 points. No backdoor available. Davao playing good defense. Shutting the entry here. Gortizas will fire a free, but it's all net as he bails the Heatwaves out on that possession.
A good defense until that shot by Gortiza. They left him wide open on that right wing. But for the most part of that possession, Davao was able to keep it step defensively.
Peromingan, lob inside Beltran. They go back out to Tumalip, who tries to answer. Can't hit it. Peromingan for free. Wala pa din. Mabulak the rebound. Foul called on Jeff Comia.
I think these two teams shouldn't rely heavily on the outside shot. Most especially Pangasinan. But Davao, sometimes they've had to resort to it due to the lack of post presence. But percentage-wise, historically in the season, they have not been good three-point shooting teams.
Pangasinan is 1 out of 15. And that results to a miss by King Gortiza. Davao with the lead. Sorry, Pangasinan 2 out of 16 after that Gortiza make. Jeff Comia. Nilabas papunta kay TH Tumalip. Back to Jeff. Comia inside. Sidesteps his way but can't hit it. Mabulak, another board. Already 11 rebounds for Mike Mabulak. De Gregoria. Wala pa din. Mabulak with his 12th board but can't get that shot up and in. TH Tumalip. Comia kicks it out. Peromingan tries for a free. It's good!
It's just crazy how other players, lesser known shooters than Mike De Gregorio, have been able to knock down threes this season, and he has misfired in all of his attempts. Transition 3 here para sa Davao. Comia not forcing the issue, making the kick out after he saw 3 defenders inside. Pero Mingan di siya pinahiya doon. That's now a 5-point lead for the Tigers.
Special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. And despite the turmoil and the uncertainty raining down on the Davao Occidental Tigers, they have managed to perform fantastically here in the first half, bringing it to the Pangasinan Heatwaves. They lead by 5, 31-26. Pangasinan though has the opportunity to take the last shot of the second period. Melencio to Ralph Robin. Robin in traffic. Foul call. That's the foul to give by the Tigers. And gotta give credit to Coach Clive.
Yeah, he's definitely much more engaged now compared to that game against Muntinlupa, where he was really just going through the motions and more being observant.
Melencio, a second remaining, off the glass, no. And the first half comes to a close. Davao Occidental seeking the upset over the Pangasinan Heatwaves. And this is a very important match for either squad. Pangasinan looking to barge into the top 6 teams, but right now they're down by 5 at the half, 31-26.
the storm. Another huge left hand by Pacquiao. Punch after punch after punch. And he finds the straight left hand. And there's the punching down. Look at the brilliant accuracy of Manny Pacquiao. Landing with both right and left hands. This is why we use the word sensation.
Right now, it seems like every extra possession is going to the side of Pangasinan, and they convert. The Heatwaves up by 11, and this has been a collective effort.
On the second chance opportunity, an off-ball movement. Hockey assist by Gabo, who got the offensive rebound. Direct assist for Talio to Flores. 11-point lead.
Only fitting that he leads this team in the MPBL. Comboy on the run. Adlawan. Oh, access denied!
Wow! Oh my goodness.
Cebu Classic defense on point.
What a way to swat that shot away.
Couple of layups para kay Eman Calo. Thought it was a goaltend there. Lastimosa with a tough drive.
Sometimes you got players na talagang mas gusto pa yung may bunggo. And si Carlo ang isa na doon. It's been pretty much the rebounding action, allowing for second chance opportunities.
63 to 68, baseline inbound for Basilan. Cabagnot from the corner. Big shot from the Crunchman. It's a 2-point game. Anxious moments here for Binyan, but what a play from Coach Rich Alvarez to free up the Crunchman for the corner three.
Well, you gotta credit Eman Calo for that perfect pass. Just on that catch and shoot motion for Alex Cabagnot. They've had, what, 5 in succession ba? Kasi si Val Chao nakaisa rin kanina.
Oh, Jeff Comia, binitbit muna ang bola bago tinapos sa kabila. What a move from Jeff Comia.
2 points yun, pero mukhang 3 points sa effort eh, no? Grabe yung finish na yun ni Jeff Comia. Just a master in dribble penetrations.
Wow. Taking the lead here, 42 to 40, under a minute to play. Wamar against Macaloni now. Wamar is ahead. Wamar floats. What a shot.
Now they go for the switch. Malaking yung big man ang kumuha, no? Kay Orlan Wamar was able to beat Macaloni. But how about that
That's Steph
finger roll?
Curry-esque.
Montuano, balik kay Robbie Manalang. 8 seconds sa kanilang shot clock. Robbie trying to turn the corner. Forces up a free. Oh, banks it in! Robbie Manalang under the rest. Able to will that one through.
My goodness. I was gonna say, nasa isip ko na rin yung sasabihin ko. I was gonna say, what a terrible take by Robbie Manalang. Answered the call the past few games, including this one. Tampos gets ahead. Tampos hangs in the air and gets the bucket. The hoop and the harm para kay Boom Boom Tampos.
Oh my goodness, Javi. The elevation, the finish through contact.
Defying the laws of physics, Boom Boom Tampos featured in our play of the game, brought to you by 1xBet. I will absolutely feel more game if I see more shots like that from Boom Boom Tampos.
Sagwan unable to capitalize on that steal. Pero here comes Nueva Ecija. The spin cycle and the finish. The former MVP, JC Marcelino. You know what? This is too big of a game for JC Marcelino not to make an impact.
Because we heard the oohs and ahs even before the shot. Doon sa spin move pa lang, narinig mo na sa crowd.
Only have one timeout here in overtime. Wala nang timeout ng Pasig. Garcia having trouble. Gets it to Lester Reyes. Robbie Manalang attacks. Kick out pass. Jaime against two defenders. Getting that shot up and in. 23 points for Papa Cheats.
he has defied the defense numerous times in this game. Tough shot after tough shot. I thought Manalang would have been better off here trying to go inside into the basket, trying to sneak his way past that help defender. I thought he could have scooped a shot in on that left side, but still giving it to that deep corner kay Chito Jaime.
Limang puntos ang lamang ng Davao Occidental over Pangasinan at the half. 31-26, and Davao from the get-go at an 8-0 start, Javi, and Pangasinan threatened even though they never led in this one in the first 20 minutes of game action, but Davao just holding steady here, at least in the first 20 minutes.
Both teams have really tried to run it and really push the pace. That's why you see a total of 88 field goal attempts between these two teams, pero ang baba ng percentage ng parehong koponan because both teams have really tried to really work hard and buckle down on defensively, but Davao has done a much better job. Although on the offensive rebounding department, Pangasinan has been able to go and out-rebound Davao just by 2, kaya lang Davao has taken advantage more because they had 12 second chance points to Pangasinan 6, and also Pangasinan's turnovers have hurt them quite a bit here. Both teams have actually taken care of the basketball in a relative sense because Pangasinan has only committed 5 turnovers, kaya lang Davao has turned that into 8 turnover points, while yung 3 turnover ng Davao hindi pa nasuskoran ng Pangasinan ng puntos.
So the leading scorers here for Davao Occidental, Jeff Comia with 8 points, Val Chauca with 7, Sam Peralta had 6 points in the first 2 quarters. For Pangasinan, Ian Melencio leading the pack with 7 points, 5 points apiece. For Michael Mabulak and King Gortiza and Harvey Pagsanhan with 4. And Pangasinan was just off that win over Pasay, and they're trying to build momentum, but it hasn't been easy, at least in this ball game. And Davao just playing with a different kind of vibe. Third quarter underway. Very interesting how the Tigers can sustain this.
Well, I expect more touches from Mabulak and Vic Manuel here in the third quarter. Alam mo naman, it's in the third quarter that Coach Gerson Cabiltes really likes to step on the gas pedal. And it's very important that they gain some momentum here in the third period to try and get some traction going into the final frame.
Val Chauca, Tricky Peromingan, Sam Peralta, Jeff Comia, and Gian Abrigo, the unit for Coach Clive Castillo. Ian Melencio, kasama si Harvey Pagsanhan, Mike Mabulak, King Gortiza, and Vic Manuel. Manuel did not start, but he is off here in the third, doing work. Basket and 1 for the muscle man.
And the reason why I want more touches from Manuel and Mabulak, of course, syempre, we know the talent of these two guys, but the lack of big men of Davao is, of course, a factor in that.
Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Vic Manuel can complete the 3-point play. So Davao still with the lead. 9 minutes. Val Chauca offhand, no. And now a chance for the Heatwaves to take the lead. Vic Manuel, size advantage. And nothing Peromingan could do there. And Pangasinan with a 6-0 start here in the third.
That's all they need. It is really a trait of Coach Gerson's teams that they feel out the game in the first 2 quarters before they go on a huge run like this in the third.
Fast player of the game brought to you by Extreme X Play. On the go speaker, take your music anywhere. In a span of 1 minute and 10, the Pangasinan takes the lead, 32-31. Next 3 games of the Pangasinan Heatwaves on June 10 versus Muntinlupa, June 9 versus Marikina, and on the 14th, the big one, laban sa Abra Weavers. And for more on that, let's go to Mika.
I mentioned earlier the Heatwaves need all the chemistry in the world preparing for a heavy month of June. Nabanggit mo nga, Ken, going against Abra, then San Juan. As we know, they came in expected to be one of the strongest contenders of the North but have lost to some big guns. But not to worry, look at this lineup with a little dust of chemistry. Imagine the things they could do. I asked Coach Gerson, how is Vic Manuel doing in his radar as the guy who brings in most of the points? He said, well, kailangan pa ng chemistry. He could score, but I need to push him more on defense. Also challenge the muscle man. How will he make his teammates better? Pag nagawa daw nila yan together, that could be huge. Nabanggit nyo nga pala, wala si Hesed Gabo. Well, nandito siya sa court. Wala din Jay Collado and Bong Galanza. But guess where Hesed was today? In their practice gym doing shooting. Napagalitan pa nga ni Coach Gerson. Sabi niya, sinabi ng magpahinga eh. He wasn't feeling very well this week. So yan ang kalibre ng players ng Pangasinan Heatwaves. Ken and Javi.
Maraming salamat, Mika. You know, it hit right home as we see Hesed Gabo. You know, how will Vic Manuel not only, you know, produce the points but make his teammates better as the season goes along para dito sa Pangasinan?
In a team like this, you really have to have your best player be the decoy at some points of the game. And for sure, the best player on this team right now is Vic Manuel. He attracts a lot of attention, especially on the block. The fact that he's able to draw some double teams, sometimes even triple teams, can have their players get open kickouts like this. Harvey Pagsanhan knocking down a 3-point shot.
I mean, we know the caliber of the player of Vic Manuel, Javi, as we see that impressive move by Jeff Comia. Cuts the lead down to 2, 37-35. And going back to Vic Manuel, Javi, alam naman natin yung quality ni Vic from the PBA all the way from college. But I think this is the very first time in a very long while, Javi, that he is probably the main guy right now. In the PBA, he was a scoring machine, but he wasn't really the main guy. But dito, sa Pangasinan, parang talaga siya yung focal point ng opensa nito nga Pangasinan.
Tama ka dyan. He might have played in a similar environment. And when I say that, I mean it's because that the San Miguel Beermen were also a very loaded squad. Same like Pangasinan is. Pero tama ka dyan, Ken. Dito, siya ang focal point ng opensa.
Gixer, great move of the game, born for greatness. Vic Manuel with the rebound.
It tails not just physical energy, but also the mental energy. How are you gonna figure out for yourself kung paano mo isasama sa laro mo pag nasa sahig ka yung pagpasa mo, or how to make your teammates look better. The difference when you are just trying to score is medyo carefree ka lang kasi yun naman talaga laro mo eh.
Yeah.
And you are expected to do that. From the start, yun naman talaga ang calling card niya. But to be able to still pass to his teammates, he has to turn it up a notch and show another facet of his game na siguro matagal niya na rin hindi pinapakita or never niya pang pinapakita sa buong karera niya.
And it's quite a challenge, Javi, for Vic Manuel. But first, let's check out this fast break game brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme Magpalamig, free installation for split-type air conditioners. And not everyone can do it. We have a lot of scorers here in the MPBL, but that really hasn't translated to wins. Case in point, for Val City, we all know John Formento has been a phenomenal guard for the Magic, but they have lost 6 straight. Although, syempre, different team din naman itong Pangasinan. But yung expectations kasi nandun very high, especially with how they beefed up this season.
It can, when we say passing and making your teammates look better, it's not just about giving them the basketball, no? It's about putting them in situations where they can actually look good. Just like how King Gortisa looked great there on that trail job, although that wasn't off an assist, that was off an offensive rebound. But here, the pass was made by Melencio, trying to make Harvey Pagsanhan look good. He left that layup short, but Gortisa was there to save the day.
Gortisa has been playing really solidly tonight for Pangasinan. 7 points, hit a 3 earlier. Now gives Pangasinan a 7-point lead. We would like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL.
Well, without Hesed Gabo on the lineup in this game, he gets this opportunity to get some floor burn into si King Gortisa, and he's really taking advantage of it nicely. But this guy, though, he has been doing almost everything for Davao in this game.
Sam Peralta knocks a jumper, now in double figures with 10 points and 9 rebounds, almost a double-double. Mabulak, the lob inside to Manuel. The cut. Oh, great shot by Harvey Pagsanhan plus the foul.
Yan ang hinahanap ni Coach Jersut Cabiltes kay Vic Manuel. There's the double. Doon pa lang sa lob, galing sa high-low, there was already 2 people na nakaabang kay Vic Manuel, si Justin Alano at si Tricky Peromingan. And right away, he was able to locate the cutter who was Harvey Pagsanhan.
And boy, those matchups in June against Abra and against San Juan. Gotta buckle up.
Doon talaga masusubukan yung chemistry nitong Pangasinan, because if Vic Manuel is gonna try to do it alone, carry this team on his back, it's not gonna happen. They're gonna be blown out. But if they try to maximize the talent of this whole squad that they have, it's a good chance para sa kanila na makakuha ng panalo.
Tricky Peromingan fouled while taking that free. King Cortisa got caught his hands in the cookie jar. He will troop back to the bench with Ian Melencio. Papasok sa loob si Ralph Robin and Joshua Fontanilla. But good stint for those two guys in the backcourt. Pero Mingan, former Adamson Falcon. Itong free throw atid sa atin ng Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Tricky pero Mingan. Suited up for Bacolod last season. And played a lot of minutes, actually 22.6 minutes. Average 7.1 points. Also had stints with Pasay and Sarangani. But can't hit all 3 free throws, so they're down still here by 6. Ralph Robin, pinatid kay Harvey Pagsanhan. Medyo off-target yung pasa. Intended for Babulak, but Mike recovers and goes straight to the cup. 49-41, Beltran is in. With Justin Alano, Jeff Comia. Behind the arc, puts it up, no good. Manuel tried to get a board. And ball was off Alan Beltran.
Davao has to be more solid defensively as a team here at this point of the game. Without Sam Peralta in the game, they have to be better as a unit, trying to prevent instances like that from happening.
Josh Tagala, kaapasok lang, got a steal and a basket. Poor inbound from Pangasinan. 6-point lead, Mac Mactalio back in. Offensive foul against Mike Mabulak.
It's the second time that he's committed an illegal screen in this game.
Vehemently protesting to our game official. Now he moves back to the bench. Yeah. Miscommunication between Manuel and Fontanilla. Josh Tagala took advantage. 6-point lead. 3.5 to go here in the third. Foul Chauca. Fontanilla in his grill. Chauca spins away. Tried to hit Justin Alano. But turnover on the Tigers.
Medyo napalakas yung pasa doon. He was trying to go for the shot. Was able to fool itong si Josh Fontanilla on those series of moves. Got him on the fake a bit. But when he pivoted away, there was help defense already coming into him to challenge what would be a shot attempt. So he decided to make a pass instead.
49-43. Napoles going to Fontanilla. Coming off that screen, Ralph Robin. One dribble, 3-point shot. No. Rebound by Tricky Peromingan. Tricky using that Beltran screen. Beltran gets the pass. Up against Manuel. Tagala got pushed by Ralph Robin. Just a third team foul against the Tigers. Bong Flores comes back into the ball game, replacing Vic Manuel. 15 sa shot clock ng Davao. Beltran. Tagala, quick trigger. No. Comia grabs another board. Posting up, Ralph Robin. Beltran, swing pass. Peromingan continues to fire and finally buries a triple. Peromingan cuts this lead down to 3, 49-46.
He's come alive here in the third quarter.
Napoles has struggled mightily for Pangasinan.
He has also not gotten a lot of touches in this game. When he's on the floor, he barely gets involved in the offense.
3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
Beltran making that recognition of going into Tricky Peromingan instead of taking the shot for himself. Clock was winding down. He needed someone to take it.
Turnover by the Heatwaves. Numbers for the guys in white. Alano, no. Beltran, wala pa din. Tagala and Robin racing for that basketball. Tagala wins it out. Comia, the spin. Tried to dump it in, but Talio able to anticipate that pass. Napoles in transition. Jore. And gets clipped in the arm by Josh Tagala.
That's exactly what I would have done if I were Josh Tagala. There's just no way you can get in the way of a Jory Napoles attempt near the basket. The best you could do is prevent a three-point play from happening, and that's exactly what Tagala was able to do. But before that, up and down, frenetic possessions between two squads. Pity that Alano wasn't able to finish. He was already being rewarded by Comia, who could have taken the shot for himself easily.
See the numbers by Jory Napoles overall, but he has experienced a massive drop, especially in the last 5 games, Javi, only averaging 5 points per contest on 38.5% shooting from the field.
See, that is why it doesn't really matter if you have a strong team on paper. Of course, obviously, ideally, what matters is how you can make it work. Are you gonna be able to maximize what you have, or is it just gonna be a mere collection of talent on the floor and nothing else?
And nothing on that trip for Jory Napoles. 0 of 2 at the line. Sa poste, Alano laban kay Napoles. Foul called against Jory. Jory and Mike De Gregorio, they were highly touted off-season acquisitions for Pangasinan. But boy, they have struggled the last 5 games for the Heatwaves. So the chemistry issues still there for Pangasinan. It's a long season. They're trying to redeem themselves from that disappointment they experienced last season by not making the playoffs. But first, let's check out this assist of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. .7 na lang sa shot clock ng Davao. Valchauca, just in the nick of time, can't get the bounce. Alano powers through and scores, plus a foul.
He wasn't really able to make much of an impact in the first half because he got 2 quick fouls upon his entry into the game off the bench. But here in the third quarter, crashing the glass, getting it over 2 black shirts, and finishing despite the contact.
We are tied 49 all. A minute remaining here in the third quarter. And Davao, great response after Pangasinan made their run. Mactalio, baseline drive, goes right at Justin Alano, falls down. Numbers here, Jeff Comia in transition, goes to Cinco. And Cinco gets fouled.
That was a gimme that he should have made. But still, Cinco, good job of running the floor. And Comia, he's really been unselfish these past few times, going down into their front court on those transition attacks, rewarding the big man. When you see a big guy going down the floor, you try and give him the basketball in an opportunity to score the rock.
Jeric Cinco, sablay yung unang free throw. Special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Split at the line gives the lead back to Davao. 50-49. 34 seconds to go here in the third. Melencio against Chauca. Ian, sweet spot, but doesn't get the roll. Chauca gets it up to Jeff Comia in transition. Hang time move does not work. But probably not a good take because they could have opted for the last shot. Instead, Pangasinan, an opportunity here to get the lead heading into the fourth quarter. Melencio off the bounce. Di Gregorio draws closer. Mid-range jumper, no good. Napoles. Will that shot count? They will review it. But first call was no good, no basket on that putback by Jore. And in fact, that call will stand. Did not get it off in time. Highlights of the game brought to you by Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
Some fast break attempts for Pangasinan to open up the game here in the second half. Vic Manuel was a big presence para sa Heatwaves, but the Davao Tigers slowly but surely getting back into the thick of things, was able also to get their own opportunities in transition, and the energy para sa kanila, even if they have been undermanned, has been over the top in this game, playing inspired basketball.
The Davao Occidental Tigers regain the lead heading into the fourth quarter. They lead by 1 over Pangasinan, 50-49. Gixer fan of the game, born for greatness. Cheering for Davao, I assume. These three lovely ladies up top. Fourth quarter underway, Mike De Gregorio and the rest of the Pangasinan Heatwaves trying to avoid an upset over the upstart Davao Occidental Tigers.
It's important not to get complacent. Like you said, we're coming off some wins. So now that keep that winning streak going and then make sure that we don't get complacent and let human nature kind of sink in.
Mike DG sharing his sentiments here, and you know it's been a struggle for him, but the outlook remains bright for the Heatwaves as we check out the quarter scoring. 16-13, 15-13, Davao pretty much outscored Pangasinan in the first two quarters, but Pangasinan coming back with a 23-19 third period. And here to begin the fourth, some commotion. What's the call here? So possession ng Davao.
Ooh. I think they were trying to argue that there might have been an offensive foul on Justin Alano.
And Coach Gerson. No, actually, offensive foul. So it's Coach Clive who will use the challenge, will return for the result.
The challenge made by Davao Occidental is unsuccessful.
So the call stands on that offensive foul whistled against Justin Alano. That's gonna be his fourth foul, unfortunately.
Yeah, clearly a push off on Harvey Pagsanhan as he tried to get in between Comia and Mike De Gregorio there. Pity, because that could have extended Davao's lead to 3 points and also could have prevented Alano from getting his 4th foul.
Pangasinan with a 5 of Ian Melencio, Harvey Pagsanhan, Mike De Gregorio, Jory Napoles, and Lervin Flores. Gong inside. Floats one up, no good. Napoles the rebound. De Gregorio. Hinatid papunta kay Harvey Pagsanhan. Mike DG. Rejecting that ball screen by Flores. Melencio, short stab is good.
Could always rely on him to score when you're in the half court. Ian Melencio, you put him in those kinds of spots, that's money for him.
Balik ang lamang sa Pangasinan, 51-50. Tagala, Jeff Comia, Gian Abrigo, Jeric Cinco, and Alan Beltran for Davao. Cinco with a pull-up.
They're showing us the talent that he has, knocking it down from mid-range. Wasn't able to score in their last game, although he did play 10 minutes.
Sundot sa likod. Di Gregorio resets their offense. 8 seconds sa kanilang shot clock. Melencio. Jeff Comia right in his grill, but foul will be called on Jeff Comia.
Melencio, he had to improvise there. But the thing with Ian Melencio is he's just so good at it.
Jeff Comia facing off against his former team, Pangasinan. As Ian Melencio will go to the line. Oh, even Ian Melencio having his woes from the line. Has missed 2 free throws so far. But currently has 13 points. Kita may free throw shooting. 7 out of 19 by the Heatwaves. But we're all tied up, 52 apiece, as we would like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL.
And that's what I've been talking about. See, they do get a lot of attempts from the free throw line because they do get fouled a lot just by the nature of their play. Minsan kasi talagang nako-caught off guard yung depensa ng kalaban pag sila ang nakakatapat because they have lots of sets. And the speed that they have as well in almost every possession enables them to draw these fouls. At that time, it was a clean shot. Melencio able to get into the gaps and float it up and in.
16 points now for Chester Ian Melencio. 54-52. Abrigo's floater won't drop. Gong Flores bounce pass. Melencio stops, fades away. It's good.
Mid-range, short range. That is definitely the domain of Ian Melencio.
Has scored the last 5 points for the Heatwaves. Man, Ian Melencio can really score the basketball. Despite his frame, his height.
Cavite legend yan.
Oo naman. Gusto ko sa kanya, he doesn't really force those outside shots. Talagang nilalapit niya eh. That, like you said, the domain that he has, that 12 to 15 footers. Now he gets the rebound. Ooh, that pass off target. Turnover against Pangasinan.
Yun lang talaga. That's just not one of his strengths, passing that basketball. But Coach Gerson has really tried to get him to become a facilitator more and more dito sa Pangasinan.
Abrigo drives. Nasupalpal ni Jory Napoles. Those two have gone at it in a 3x3 circuit, and Gian Abrigo not backing down, knocks down a 3.
Finally, that's his first field goal in 9 attempts, Ken.
Ooh, collision by the two lefties, Chauca and Flores. Val Chauca called for that foul.
See here, Abrigo, despite missing all of his attempts, and most of them actually have gone from spots wherein he usually makes those baskets. This time it's a 3-point shot. Hindi natinag si Gian Abrigo.
Isa ang lamang ng Pangasinan. Vic Manuel laban kay Gian Abrigo. Melencio lalapit. Crossover. Oh, what a move. Ian Melencio putting on a clinic.
Most players will have a hard time when they get into the lane in that middle part of the court to still make a change of direction or a change of pace, but not Ian Melencio.
Manuel. Scoop play up, no. Mabulak grabbed the rebound, but ball got stolen away by Davao. The cut, Abrigo high off the glass, no good. Pagsanhan, forward pass, Manuel, reverse, yes!
I think he's just laughing at himself right now. Ito si Vic Manuel as you see that three. That's a big shot for Davao Occ making that. But Vic Manuel, those last two attempts that he had, yung una mintis and yung last na reverse pumasok, pero parehong mababa yung naging lipad niya eh.
2-point lead though. Pangasinan trying to protect this advantage that they currently have. Manuel face-up jumper. Took forever before it finally dropped for Vic Manuel.
Boy, I haven't seen a shot fall down like that in a while.
Back-to-back baskets though by the muscle man. 62-58. Abrigo short. Bola babalik sa Heatwaves. Just past the halfway point of the fourth.
He had to adjust there. But this time, hand in the face, no problem. Vic Manuel, back-to-back hits para sa Pangasinan.
Manuel and Melencio have combined forces here in the fourth quarter. The muscle man with a 3-point play opportunity.
Coach Gerson has talked about it. We've talked about it, how he has to be a better facilitator for his teammates. But when push comes to shove, in the important moments of the game, when you need those kinds of baskets, you go to Vic Manuel because he is definitely the man for that job.
This free throw to push the lead to 7. 65-58. Davao Occidental. Can they mount one last rally here? Underman but not unbowed. Alano. Gets it back to Tricky. Pero Mingan. Oh, great pass. And a great cut as well by Sam Peralta. Able to draw the foul on Mike De Gregorio. Sam Peralta closing in on a double-double.
He has definitely affected the game in a positive manner. Dito para sa Davao Occidental, ito si Sam Peralta. Was absent in their game against Muntinlupa. Would have made an impact in that one. But here, from the get-go, he started this game, and until now, Peralta has helped Davao try and keep in step with this Pangasinan squad.
1 out of 2. 65-59. 6-point lead for Pangasinan. De Gregorio, despite his struggles, remains on the floor for Coach Gerson. Manuel loves that spot on the floor. Laban kay Justin Alano. Face-up jumper off the glass. Wala. Copy ka ng bola. Mabulak tried to go for it. But Ian Melencio there for the stick back.
The story of the game in the first half. Pangasinan had more offensive rebounds, just a couple of them. But it was Davao who had the more second chance points. But here in the second half, it's a different story. Pangasinan has been able to take advantage of those additional possessions to turn them into baskets, just like this one. Melencio getting that loose ball. Active hands by Davao, but the breaks of that possession not favoring them.
Now it's Melencio and Manuel providing the scoring punch. for Pangasinan, but how about those 17 rebounds by Mike Mabulak?
He has certainly given Pangasinan those chances.
Kagaya nun, Javi.
Yeah.
Tapik-tapik lang eh.
Gaya na sinabi ko kanina, he's not gonna try and out-jump you. He's not always been a high jumper. He's not always been very athletic. Pero yung lakas ng katawan tsaka yung smarts, the way that he gets his position, boxes out, and those hands have really worked miraculous things para sa kanyang kupunan.
18 rebounds now for Mabulak. Finds Vic Manuel, but missing a gimme. In transition, Davao, Comia. Bumuelo for the spin move. Val Chauca behind the back. Oh, turnover against the Tigers.
I think Vic Manuel was thinking twice when he got that basketball, threading that middle. See here, alam niya na makukulangan ng konting talon eh. But most of the time, that would have been a slam, especially maybe 3-5 years ago. Opted for the finger roll, medyo napasobra lang yung pectus.
Has he had a slam dunk already in the MPBL?
Wala pa yata.
Wala pa, no? But certainly, not the lack of scoring for Vic. Mike Mabulak sealing off Sam Peralta before the shot foul called on the big man of Davao. Already 4 fouls too against Sam Peralta, with Justin Alano also with 4. Mabulak at the line. Remember, against Jensan, he was 0 of 5.
But wow, 17 rebounds now. 9 points para kay Michael Mabulak.
Meanwhile, let's check in with Mika.
Michael Mabulak and Shaq Taganas have won numerous championships with Coach Gerson. No? They have also had some challenges together. Their first season of Pangasinan not entering the playoffs. So they had to get more players to help out. And unfortunately, the minutes of Shaq Taganas suffered. But we know what Shaq can still do. And look at the performance of the Komodo Dragon despite big names in the front line. Why? Well, their kids are now playing already. Actually, teammates sila no? Under the tutelage of Harold Nang in HBN basketball. Pareho daw shooters. Si Kael Mabulak and Zach Taganas. Kaya naman mas ganado ang daddies, hindi na siguro sa shooting. Kung hindi, tuluyan magpakondisyon na lang sa kanilang mga katawan. Ganun, Javi.
Sana lang yung coach nila hindi tinuturuan ng kalokohan yung mga anak ng dalawa. Vic Manuel with a point there. 10-point lead for Pangasinan. But, coming full circle. And si Kael kasi alam ko, ibang-ibang yung laro niya kay Mike eh. As we see Val Chauca score.
I think si Kael is more of a perimeter player and more of a scorer than his father.
Last 2 minutes of the game.
That has been the case for a lot of players with kids who are already starting to play basketball. Kumbaga, gusto nila patunayan sa mga anak nila na isa pa silang magaling na basketball player. That's why a lot of the players right now, that has been the case. Gabby Espinas, Robbie Celis, I'm sure a lot more.
And meron din ako naalalang kwento ni Mika. I think we were in Batangas City there. How I think meron ng doubts kay Mike on whether he could perform still.
Yun na nga. Oh, tama. I remember that
diba?
story.
Tapos nasabihan siya ni Kael. And that really motivated him here. And nga, silang tatlo, no? And they're doing a fantastic job for sure. Wag nga lang silang tumulad sa head coach sila ngayon.
Yung head coach kasi nila, minsan, kung ano-ano nasa isip eh.
Of course, kaibigan natin yan, si Boss Harold.
Siyempre naman.
Oo.
So is Coach Harold a better coach than a better player? In your opinion, Ken?
It remains to be seen. It's hard to judge. I will keep my lips sealed for the moment. But how about those humongous numbers by Mike Mabulak? 12 points, 17 rebounds. hindi pa kasama dyan sa stat sheet yung mga times na tinapik-tapik niya yung bola and it eventually ended up to his teammates.
Yeah, you know what? If those actually counted, he might actually have up to 35 rebounds. That's how much he's affected this game.
Vic Manuel grabs the board. And Pangasinan, after not leading in the first half, had a huge third quarter. The Davao Occidental Tigers came back and even took the lead heading into the fourth. But the Heatwaves, we had this guy, Ian Melencio, Michael Mabulak, and Vic Manuel have weathered the storm and looks like they're gonna pull through here in the fourth.
Once again, that particular possession, who had the tap on the basketball, Mike Mabulak, made it happen para kay King Gortiza for him to get that offensive rebound off the glass.
This guy really started it in the first half. He kept Pangasinan within striking distance. Yung shot making ni King Gortiza when Vic Manuel struggled and Jory Napoles, Mike Dirigorio again just having their troubles on offense, but the other guys have picked up the slack. And this is gonna be a huge win for Pangasinan because they have a tough schedule in June, and that could be a springboard if they wanna really make a dent here in the North Division. And medyo precarious kasi have yung position rin nila in the team standings eh. But yung benefit din naman is, I think they're 6-4 right now, di ba?
Correct. And if they get this victory, they can improve their position. They're currently at number 7 right now. Again, that's a position that get them an automatic playoff spot.
Yeah.
But, of course, you want to avoid those kinds of complications because for sure at the end of the year, there will be a lot of teams that will have almost the same record as you because the North Division is just so tight.
Yeah. Chauca with a 3, but still an 8-point lead. The reason I mentioned the record is mas onti yung laro nila eh compared to sa mga top teams eh. This is gonna be their 7th victory in 11 games. Pangasinan already has 13 games. Of course, Nueva Ecija is up there, 12-0 record. Abra, they have a tough game coming up against Quezon. So Pangasinan has a chance here to put in some string of victories before that highly touted showdown against Abra. But here, taking care of business against a very resilient, very tough, undermanned Davao Occidental Tiger squad. And this guy was simply phenomenal, especially in the fourth quarter. Best player of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
What a game by Ian Melencio. First half only had 7 points, able to score 15, teaming up with Vic Manuel. Both of these guys, they combined for 28 points in that telling second half run of the Pangasinan Heatwaves, tearing it apart yung depensa ng Davao Occidental Tigers and making sure that Pangasinan would end up with a back-to-back victory.
Our final score, 68 for the Davao Occidental Tigers, 76 for the Pangasinan Heatwaves. Ian Melencio came into this game only averaging 5.8 points, coming up with 22. Let's go, Tumika.
Maraming salamat. Congratulations, Ian. Unang-una, may utang kang kape sa akin. Ano? Sinabi ko sa'yo kanina na baka ikaw ang mag-best player. Pero Ian, alam mo, talagang makikita pa rin namin yung ability mo mag-take over, no? Kahit napakadaming talented players dito sa Pangasinan. Sa fourth quarter, 11 points ka out of your 22 na career high mo ngayon. Kumusta ka?
Siguro kasi kulang yung team namin, wala si Esed. So step up lang sa binibigay na tiwala ng mga coaches sa akin. Sinusuklihan ko lang. Tsaka go hard kami sa practice para pagdating sa game, madala namin.
Pag-usapan mo yung team sa dami ng challenges nyo, no? Sa naging mga talo, ganyan. Alam ko, ang schedule nyo ngayong June, medyo matindi. Meron kayo malalakas na kalaban. Kumusta kayo ang Pangasinan Heatwaves?
Sa practice, laging sinasabi ng coaches na pagbutihan lang namin, tapos yung mga susunod na game, maging ready kami para pagdating namin sa malalakas na kalaban, makasabay kami, sana manalo yun.
Maraming salamat, Ian. Meron ka mo gustong batiin at pasalamatan?
Unang-una, thank you kay Lord sa kalakasan na binigay sa amin. Panalo, binabati ko yung wife ko, lagi nakasuporta sa akin. Si Jessel Jane, yung tatlong anak ko, si Chesel, si Chariel, tsaka si Chaster. Mama at papa ko, Melencio family, Akipal family, Magat family, Providence family, Beneñas, kay Tita Ika, Jam Shoes, kay Mayor Liam Cesar, Governor Monmon Guico, Sec Conrad Estrella, Kong Esquimo Estrella of Abono, Kong Art Celeste, Mayor Cesar Kiambao, Boss Robert Guy, Mayor Brian Celeste, Boss FJ Dili, at sa mga sulit supporters team Pangasinan. Maraming salamat sa mga taga Cavite din, tsaka sa pinsan ko, bagong kasal, best wishes sa'yo, Miko, and sa wife mo. Yun lang. Melencio family sa Guam. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Maraming salamat. By the way, ka-birthday ko pala itong si Ian Melencio, kaya Ken, kubrahin mo rin siya sa libre mamaya. This player of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor. Meron pa daw.
Kay Tita Ika, thank you sa shoes, Tita. Salamat.
Okay, at dahil birthday naman niya, this player of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Ken and Harry.
Joke lang yun, kau naman, Mika. Of course, etong Pangasinan winning this one and grabbing their 7th victory. Up next, Pasig City going up against the Batangas City Tanduay Rom Masters. Kaya keep it here on the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.